have my back with this, we probably can be a lot better because I love my job, but my company is like 5 years behind other institutions because they're more so marketing, and now they're trying to catch up on the banking side.
Right.
So
I think for
that
me,
right there,
I would just honestly take this conversation title to heart, like, and sit back and observe. Like, I would bring it up, not like, oh, did she tell you that I told her? I would just be like, yeah, because, last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, when we were going through such and such, I brought this up. So I wanted to know, does the rest of the team know this? That's how I would do it. Slap it in there. Does the rest of the team know? And should we put some type of SOP in place for these instances just to get it done? That if she is as incompetent as you have shared, you're not the only person who sees it. Everybody else
and that's
sees
what they said. They'll say, well, you know how she gets, even when it's like something, she gets frazzled easily. And I'm like,
well, she reminds me I no longer work with.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. And it's just crazy. I'm like, y'all know how she is, but yet y'all allow it.
Y'all let her do it. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that I would be allowed to do that if that was the case. But then,
and you wouldn't feel comfortable doing that
right,
because they would be like,
never...
oh, silly little black girl running around
here. It would be pointed out every opportunity, like, oh, you got a minute? I want to talk to you about this. But this is just, she can fall on the, oh my God, I'm confused. Okay.
I'm a very emotional person. Like how she would talk to our old manager, and I would just be like, and he was black too. And we look at each other, I'm like, yeah, we gotta let that slide because it's just two of us, but I'm with you. And if you want to say something, I got you. That kind of thing. Like he irked me. But I'm like, how are you getting away with saying some of these things? Or like we'll have meetings and she'll just walk out because she didn't like hearing what they said. And I would just be still sitting there like looking around like, y'all can see that? We're allowing this to happen? Oh, okay. I'm gonna stay here though until you confirm with me that the conversation's done, because I don't want to be the angry black woman. So yeah,
right. If were you to walk out like that, you would have all types of labels and tags.
Oh my gosh, HR be emailing me, telling me to fly out to Ohio and sit down with whomever. Like,
and that's true. So, and not to mention the role that you guys are in. Some of that's just basic banking knowledge. You wouldn't need to be in risk in order to know what a SAR was.
No. No clue. I didn't even I just told her what it stood for. I didn't even tell her to explain it. I was like, it depends on the dollar amount. Well, what's the dollar amount? I don't.
Right.
I'm going.
Why don't you know this? Don't you guys have learning modules?
I'm going to lunch.
Don't you have to sign up, take learning like LMS courses?
Yes.
Every year?
And that's one that you have to take every single year. But they don't. They're talking about, oh, we're looking into that. You are a financial institution. You're supposed to have it. I'm confused.
It's so funny because it's very different when you're at smaller institutions because the regulators don't come down on them in the same way. So
the crazy thing is they do, because the FDIC sits in the office right next to us. We have an FDIC, like somebody on site 24/7.
You know what though? The FDIC is of course a regulator, but I don't think that they are. I don't think that they operate in the same way as like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or the OCC. The OCC don't play. They will be on that ass. Okay.
Well, maybe I need to make a call.
Don't even concern
you need
yourself
your
with
job
her. Like, she's
saying.
Gonna shoot herself in the foot. Like her incompetence will,
it's gonna
continue. Yeah, it's just all over her. People can see it. So for me, I mean, I think when you do have your one-on-one and you talk to your manager, I would just be like, yeah, this came up last week and I wanted to know, does everybody know how to do this? And if so, right. I would love to take on training folks or sending out maybe an email, a refresher email. Take the lead like that. Keep rising above her dipshit ass because she goofy as hell, and let her stay goofy.
Y'all know I'm crass. Y'all know I'll be like, my one day miles a hoe. Y'all know I'm very crass. I'll be like, you dumb as hell. I just back out. I can't even cuss on Messenger. I'm gonna back out and be like, all right.
Yes, just girl, goodbye.
I want to be like, go ahead, log out for me.
Catch me outside.
Right. Go ahead, log out. You're only 10 minutes down the road. I'm about to
make sure you got your mask on.
Yes,
definitely. Oh, and just another thing. The other day, she told me that her cat knocked the butter off the counter and her dog ate it. Like,
why is the cat?
That's another sit back and observe. I'm sorry.
That's why we said we did potlucks. Nope. And Shanice was like, "Well, I get invited. We don't even get invited no more." No, because y'all nasty.
Yeah, it seems like they hand you the food out their hand. I'm getting my own, but no, thank you. The cat was on the counter and knocked the butter, and the dog ate it. I was like,
Ew.
She giving me stuff to bring home. I just throw it in the trash. Like, thanks.
The dog probably ate some of it. She probably saved the rest.
The dog ate
it. She probably picked the rest back up though, like you said.
Like, I'll just cut the teeth marks off this part.
5-second rule, nasty.
Nasty. So yeah, that was mine. That was mine.
No, that was good, and I think that is very sound advice that Toya gave. We just want to see how this plays out. I want
to be like your mom's a hoe.
Quietly blow up her spot. Like, just look, like, this came up in conversation, and I'm just curious, because she was oblivious, and I would hate to see my team member fail. Fucking goofy.
Boom. I love that.
Yes.
Just right, goofy.
So for me, sitting black and observing is my natural disposition. I don't know what's happening. I know the whole goddamn story. So I mean, it's just, it works better for me. Like, because I get the opportunity not to really, when you're too involved in certain things, then folks want to come back to you later and be like, well, what did you know? What did you hear? Or, oh, did you? And I will even know the full story from front to back. And they were like, did you hear such and such? I don't know. My gosh. And then
that's crazy.
They want to tell me all about it. Tell me all about it. Tell me. In my head, some of the stuff you're saying is right and other stuff is wrong. I don't have a particular, that wasn't a cough, guys, I promise. I don't have a particular instance. I think that it is something that's inherent to us as a culture, though, because on so many occasions we don't get the opportunity to be vocal and then to be taken seriously, or for whatever we're bringing to the forefront to be something of discussion with the mass at large. So we don't opening up your mouth it's not that we shy away from talking about things that are important to us, but oftentimes is we got that's none of my business. Like, it's not my damn business mentality. And I think it serves us in a way as Black people, for sure, because we not barbecue Becky, because that's none of my motherfucking business. Right. Like, I don't care what y'all doing over there. So I think it, like I said, it serves us in a way that other cultures, our other, quote, minority cultures have mastered it as well. Middle Eastern women, very good. Asian ladies, no. Know everything. And be like, just look at you, shake their head. Girl, I saw you. You was there. You was in the conversation.
It wasn't me.
It's just, the mother ones who always got to be in the mix, always have an opinion, always have a not solution, but just how it is affecting them, because it's making you feel. It don't make you feel like nothing if you were minding your business, right? Jen with these
I'll tell you, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, when y'all hear this episode, I'm gonna find me a church organ. It's gonna be like, darn. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Y'all already know how I feel about the why people. Always asking why people.
What is there to gain from you being involved in this, ma'am? Like, sometimes you gotta just come back to them like, what are you asking me? I don't think this,
because they have the savior complex for some reason, and you're the constant one that's constantly doing something to us. So you can't, like, we don't need you to save us. We just need you to stop.
Oh, at my old organization, I had someone, and we worked together very heavily, and I didn't dislike her. She was older. She had been there for maybe like 13 years or something at the company. And I always, whenever I would speak to my boss about her, I said, this person brought this to my attention. And then immediately after bringing it to my attention, how someone tells you something, and the way that they're giving you the story, they want you to have as much invested as they do. So it's just like, they'll leave that long pause after they say something and then just look at you. Like, you're like, what am I supposed to feel here? Because I don't feel nothing. So that was her. She was an arsonist, and that's what I would call her. So she would set fires purposely, and then after everyone's like, oh my God, come back around trying to put it out. Like, you did this. So
right.
In every instance where she was brought on as someone who was supposed to be there to give us a solution or be a part of the solution, she would ask the most unnecessary questions to extend the issue, make it bigger than it was. Like, homegirl, that don't have, we hear you, but why are you talking about this right now? So just like you said, Jen, like the why, like, well, why, and what about this? That don't have nothing to do with this. We're trying to get this one thing out. Here you go, setting another fire. Unnecessary. Yeah. The
it's almost like Munchausen syndrome.
You want to put the grass on fire too, girl. Like, relax. Yeah.
It's like Munchausen syndrome. Like, you know, like the people who like want to be sick or they want their kids to be sick so they can get the attention. It's just like they can't help it. But y'all can help it by not doing it.
By not doing it.
Who knows?
Everybody needs to take a course in sitting black and observing because it helps you. It helps.
I know, I do agree because I think it would probably be better for their psyche. You wouldn't be so stressed out about everything if you were not putting your nose in other people's business. You wouldn't be getting cussed out if you weren't worrying about what someone else was saying to somebody. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know. And I think maybe you're right. Maybe it is a savior complex, but we don't need saving. Like, you ain't fucking J. Cole. No. She don't want to be saved. Fuck out of here.
Yo, you can find a lyric or a rap, like everything for everything.
Every time.
I swear, one day I'm just gonna go like run off a list and just see how many you can get.
She like,
like you said, J. Cole. I'm saying, like, okay, what song?
Look, this is what I do.
Yeah, you know what?
So if Chris Brown's listening, he needs somebody to help him with
Christopher Maurice. Are you listening?
For research purposes. I'm just
okay. If that's what we want to call it.
Yeah, I'm just sitting back and observing.
Yeah. All parts of life are research. The good, the bad, and the indifferent. Like, I might not have signed up for it, but look, now I know things that I don't want to know no more, but I know. What the fuck?
Just saying. So I think for me, sitting black and observing, I think I'm doing that at work right now. I think that we are in a semi-weird space where we've had organizational changes, but because we are cross-border and I work with people in Canada and of course I'm in the US, we're trying to do this major alignment, but the regulatory environments are honestly very different, but we're being pushed to make a round peg fit in a square. It's kind of not working. So there's a lot of times where I find myself being frustrated about processes, and some of them it does make sense to like step in and say like, whoa, this is not going to work, this is not going to gel. But I think there are other times where I just have to check myself and say like, look, you just gonna have to sit back and see how this plays out, because sometimes when it comes from the top of the house, there's no fighting it, there's no pushing back on it. And I think that in those instances you have to pick your battles, because I think it's good to be a person who can be a challenger, because we can't all be yes men, but at the same time it can't come off as confrontational. So now I'm trying to toe the line of, okay, well, where are the times where I absolutely need to say like, we need to pull back and we need to pause, but the other times where I'm kind of like, I'm gonna just have to sit back and let it play out. And if it's good, okay, great. But if it's bad, to come back and say, well, okay, here is where we can pivot, because I didn't want to do this in the first place. And I think that my relationship with my manager, I kind of do say that. Like, there are times where I'm asked to do something, I'm kind of like, I'm not 100% on board with it, but if that's what the ask is, then that's what we'll do. So I'm sitting black and observing now, because also I'm the only person of color, we'll say, because or honestly, not even person of color, I'm the only black person on this team, and really in my group, there's not a lot of other black people. So I can't always be the squeaky wheel, but at some point, we have to figure out something. So I find myself being frustrated, but at the same time, I think just understanding that I have to just put it down, let it play out, and observe. helps me to not get so flustered and frazzled and be running around like a chicken with my head cut off, because I'm just not going to do that.